Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm DePriest.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Derryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
Despite what Brian says, we do have something today. He thinks we only have him on when we have nothing else to do.
We have so much
true.
to do today.
We love your company, regardless of us having things to do or not. And, of course, Darryl.
But when you bring friends, it's great.
So, yes.
Yeah. That's great to see you guys for the first time in the new year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Happy New Year.
It's great to be coming together to actually have like a planned topic for a change.
Yeah.
You're building up expectations, Barry.
Well,
and as we said, I'll tell you what, we said in last week's show, something great next week. None of us actually knowing what it was.
But this all came together after that.
We had figured it out. So what we're doing is our 2023 year in review, and we'll cover a bunch of topics. Most topics designed to fit in things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because that's how Todd designs topics.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone has
Tell
to
me
do
it's not true, Todd.
Yeah, no, but again, someone's actually going to put this together. So, hey.
It's almost, if anyone watched the
you
Golden
could build
Globes,
it with the topics that you want to.
Yeah, you come up with something you want to talk about, and then you build a topic. Like the Golden Globes, if everyone watched it last night, they came up with a new topic, a new awards, favorite box office or cinematic something or other, just to give Barbie an award, because it wasn't going to win anything else.
Oh,
that was kind of ridiculous.
Well, they do what they need to do to try to get ratings. So,
well, I think they also needed to get a lot of people to show up.
That too.
But that was such an invented topic.
The headline I saw was "Host Bombs Taylor Swift Pissed."
Yeah.
Really?
He was
I didn't
horrible. I've
see
never
it.
heard of this guy before in my life, but he was
Who was
horrible. Joy Coy or Joe Coy or somebody.
Oh, I did see some stuff about that, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, the Taylor Swift thing wasn't that big of a deal, but
she regretted the overexposure. I mean, she at every football game, the cameras are on her, and she just was not amused.
she's fine. There were a couple things that people weren't. Yeah, it was not great.
Poor Taylor. Just leave her alone when she wants to be left alone.
You know what's funny is I seriously, I know I could name one Taylor Swift song. I don't know any of her music, but I'm aware of one song. I know she's huge and popular, and she's dating a football player and all that crap. But yeah, she's everywhere. Like you cannot avoid her. I don't read articles about her, but they're in my news feed you just can't avoid it.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with her, and I agree. She's everywhere. She's super talented, whether you like her stuff or not. She seems like she has a good head on her shoulders. She's got a good attitude. I think if they really want to enlist her, she could save the 2024 election if they really wanted her to say the right thing. So I don't have a problem with her.
No, the problem is when you get to that level of celebrity, you lose all privacy. Like no matter where she goes,
there's no question. Yeah,
but she still goes out and stuff. She's not like some recluse.
Yeah.
You know,
she does a very good job managing what's hers, and really should be respected for that. So
the NFL loves her, but like hardcore NFL fans, I think don't love her because she's getting so much
it brings
attention.
more people to the table. What do you care if you're watching your favorite team?
The tweets from Swiftie fans have been hilarious about football. It's like, what's a down?
Yeah,
it's like most of the regular Joes, except.
I'll tell you, it's funny. I'll tell you something. Mark, my son's team is Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a long story that I've told before, but they were playing the game to get into playoffs, so we're watching it. And then what happened? There was a guy makes a catch, and they were like ruling whether it's not. So I'm like, oh, well, you can see right there his knee touches the ground, and blah, 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 blah. So it's a fair catch, and everyone's looking at me like, really? What? I'm like, I know about stuff. I just don't like it.
I just don't watch it.
You know, I'm educated in it. I just don't care. But let's do this before we get into 2023. We cannot start a show like this without thanking our sponsor, Fanboy Collectibles. They've been there with us for the past 10 years. Check those guys out. They've got everything. Yes, 10 years. They've got everything that you need, especially if you got some leftover holiday money you need to spend. Check them out. They got Fanboys, and Fanboys got Pops and Sideshow and Hot Toys and Hasbro and statues, everything. There's all kinds of stuff. Their websites,
Kodabukayas,
all those, all the photos, Komodo dragons.
10 years, and how many things on average do you guys get from Fanboy Collectibles every year?
We buy
a dozen, maybe once a month. The box comes.
I will say I have a particular folder that I put all my receipts in. It's thick.
You do?
All the invoices, the shipping invoices, I put them all in there. And I was looking at that the other day, and
I try not to look.
It's
funny. I looked.
I
looked to see, because of one of the topics, what I bought in 23. I was scrolling a bit, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I don't buy as much as you guys. So anyway.
It's like the hair club for men. We're not just spokespeople. We're also customers.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Fanboy Collectibles. Check those guys out. Fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, if you're in the area, and tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Thank you, Troy and Fanboy Collectibles. Todd, why don't you give the setup for this, since you came up with all the thought?
Okay, so basically, this is kind of our best of, worst of. This is as you said, it's a year in review, with categories that we'll announce as we go along, and then we'll just go through the rotation. Dave will probably go in the order that you see people on your screen, since it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess we can start out with best film.
Okay.
The most award shows save that for last. We're just coming out.
We're diving right in. We went different directions here.
So I just want to know if we're all on the same page, which I don't think the award shows always make this a prerequisite, but this is the best film that you've seen, right? I have seen it.
And so this is okay. I should have said this. So,
no, I know that, but I'm saying
there's some best and worsts in here. There are much worse films. It's going to be the worst film that you've seen.
You have to have seen these things or done these things.
And actually what this caused me to do was actually put together my list of things that I didn't see yet that I want to catch up on.
And that's one of the things. It's like, you're going to hear what the worst film that we saw this year is, but it's the worst film we actually went to see. So, or saw by other means, but so it doesn't necessarily mean it is the worst out there. It's just
it's a favorite film you saw this year, and then whatever. So
and there's more bests in here than worsts. So
yeah,
so we're not looking to tear anybody down, but
definitely
yeah, sure.
But those who deserve it. So yeah.
Did Tim Burton release a movie this year? I don't know.
I was going to say, did Tim Burton release anything? He did release Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which we all like.
But I like Wednesday. So
was that
Tim, see, I'm on your side sometimes.
So Wednesday was 2022. I looked it up.
I thought so too.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot that happened in 22. I mean, a lot, as we were saying earlier. As I'm making my list off the top of my head, then I start.
Time is relative since COVID. Even though COVID is over, time is still relative.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Okay, you're going first, Derryl.
So this is best film.
Best
film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Reggie goes. So we're giving out awards, right? Do we agree?
No, we stopped doing.
We had to cut those from the budget.
We stopped doing we used to call it.
So my best film, absolute tie. I know, Dave, you'll roll your eyes. I always do this, but these two films brought me such joy, and I couldn't decide. But between John Wick 4 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I love these films. I had such a great time.
Wow, two very, very different choices.
I'm surprised by that, and I think I am of everyone else. I think I'm the only other one who liked John Wick 4. It's a little ridiculous at points, but I did like it.
Oh, Todd liked it too.
Oh, I did too. Yeah,
I liked it. I just acknowledged it was ridiculous.
I didn't find it plausible, but I liked it.
Yeah,
so here's what it is. I mean, it's the most ridiculous universe, but this was like a chef's kiss goodbye, right?
This is going to be 5
until the next one.
I know.
Excellent.
There's another one.
But excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of them, so.
And so who's next?
Whoa.
Wait, whoa.
You haven't seen any John Wicks?
I was told about what happens to the dog in the first one.
It took me until this year to see my first John Wick film because I knew what was going to happen to the beagle, and I can't.
And he has a beagle
violence.
You don't even have a beagle.
So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It's an ode to a man's love for his dog.
I get it, and I can't watch that. Just like I can't watch that Will Smith movie when he kills his German Shepherd because I had a German Shepherd. But John Wick 1 is great. You have to see it. You have to see it.
There is in Reacher right now. There's a plot line that he keeps referencing to this dog who died, and it's like, honestly, this guy I think is more pissed off about the dead dog than anything.
Why wouldn't
he? Yeah. And tell you what, guys, it's funny. We just have this we have this.
When you guys look at what minute the dog scene's over, and I'll jump into the film the minute after that.
No, we'll tell you a chunk to stop and fast forward because you need to see the setup prior to that. The setup.
Oh, okay, all right.
You don't see the dog get killed or anything, but we'll tell you a section.
It was
not
still.
To watch.
It's really more like.
Yeah, we know the parts you shouldn't watch.
Yeah.
So those are my choices.
Anyway, okay, I'm going next. Mine is and I liked a lot of movies this year, but I think my favorite was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think it's Brian's laughing. He hated it.
He didn't like it. Keep going, Dave.
I liked it. I liked it better than 2. I thought it wrapped up their saga. I love the Rocket story. He's my favorite character. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. How's next?
Okay, I also have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So,
nice.
If I'd gone later and 3 people had already said Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'd have gone with Godzilla -1. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I have not seen that. I'm going to make a list right now of things I need to see.
That is on my watch list, and it's currently not available to stream anywhere. So.
Yeah. No,
as soon as it is,
it's absolutely brilliant. It's well worth the time and the effort to read it.
Go see it in the theater. It's still in the theater.
It is still in the theater.
Such a good year.
Near me, I don't think.
I was going to go this weekend, and there's one theater, and the showtime didn't work out.
Oh. Yeah.
Such a good year for film. All 4 of these around my top.
We have lost perspective on what Godzilla movies are supposed to be, and this kind of returns it to square one. Or -1, as the case may be.
Brian?
It's Godzilla -1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Good.
Awesome.
All right. So,
and the Beatles go to.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, I almost went with Guardians 3, but I decided to go from a rewatchability standpoint. The movie I think I will ultimately watch more often, and therefore I think was my favorite, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Okay.
Ooh.
No, don't put the crystal skull down.
No, it was good. We all agree.
Where's my Dial of Destiny?
We all have our own standards for this.
But I want to tell a really quick story because I texted Todd about it over the weekend, or maybe Todd and Dave. I felt like I needed to see Across the Spider-Verse before I could decide on my favorite film because everybody raved about it and I didn't see it. So I tried to find it yesterday, but I was searching for Into the Spider-Verse, and that's not available anywhere except for FX Now. So I had to download that app and put in my credentials and do all that. And I got 10 minutes in before I realized I was watching the wrong movie. And then I went to Netflix and I watched Across the Spider-Verse, and it's great. No doubt.
Fantastic.
I have watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one. I don't know that I care.
But Barry, you're not wrong. I accidentally didn't watch Into the Spider-Verse as well in the movie theater. And when I came to watch Across the Spider-Verse, I'm like, wait, I've missed one. And I had to go back and
the titles are a little too similar, and I get that. I mean, Spider-Man movies do that. But there's also a bit of a recap in there that I was like, oh, okay, they're just giving me a recap. And then I'm like, no, this isn't a recap. This is the first movie.
and I did the same thing for like 2 hours. I did the same thing for Karen had queued it up, and I did the same thing for like 3 minutes, and I was like, nope.
I went 10 minutes, so I know.
Yeah, so it was
these are all great, really good choices. It was a great year for movies. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the opposite. The worst movie you saw, I guess, in our genre. I've seen some crappy stuff, but
same order, but skip the first person, right?
In our genre,
a different person leads each one.
Oh, then that's going to be hard to keep track. But I'll do that. I'll go first then.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm keeping it to our genre, and I think I saw this on a plane. But 65, if you saw it,
Adam Driver.
What is it?
That's Adam Driver dinosaur
Adam
movie.
Driver is an astronaut
right,
who goes
right.
back in time. It's like sort of Planet of the Apes with a little twist. It was not good.
I don't know why I didn't see that. Probably because
it's not great.
I heard of that.
I was interested when I saw the premise. I read like a little blurb on it. I'm like, oh, that could be interesting. It was not great. I do have a runner up, but I'll save that for until see if someone says it. Todd.
I'm going to continue with my theme here. Ant-Man 3.
Bingo.
Yeah, I almost had that.
Oh, geez. It's I tried rewatching that to see if I just really got it wrong or was in the wrong, and I really tried hard to like it, and I found some things that were good. They were less good the second time.
Thor wasn't this year, was it?
No.
Okay. No. That I put that on my list anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I considered that one. Brian, you don't say Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
It's the second choice, so it's not my first choice.
Good.
Unless you disqualify my first choice. Technically, this did show in a theater.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Barry.
That's a Rebel Moon
documentary.
Part 1,
we don't count
Child
it.
of Fire.
Yes.
What did you say?
No, it was in theater for 2 weeks. Yes.
Rebel Moon Part 1.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. I think,
but you honestly think that was the worst movie of 2023?
You saw.
Yeah, worst one that I saw. I didn't see a lot of bad movies because I have these guys who have this podcast that tell me when a bad movie comes out. I just don't go.
I got to tell you, I seriously considered that.
I thought about that, but it had such low stakes.
Yeah.
There's worse.
Yeah.
Barry.
I know you liked this movie, Dave, but I think the worst movie I saw this year was Ghosted. It was terrible.
Oh,
the Ana de Armas and
you can't say the worst movie when the words Ana de Armas is in it. Just looking at her is great.
Well, you know what? My second one was
I actually
Hearts of
considered
Stone,
it,
and she's attractive too. But that was also a piece of
Stone.
That was the one with Gal Gadot.
I don't even remember that one.
We all talked about it when it aired.
Okay, no one's going to call him out for saying Gadot. Okay, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything
Gadot, whatever. The movie
it's actually
I was trying to call up the Israeli armed forces to
wait a second. I hardly remember, and I didn't even come across that in the list I looked at.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
That was not. It was very unmerited. But again,
it was bad.
You go watch 65 and tell me if it's.
Well, I've never watched 65, so I can't put it on the list.
And I'll
I think Ghosted was horrible. It wasn't great. There's better. There's certainly worse.
Bad.
Try watching that Mark Wahlberg recent movie.
Jesus,
That's why I don't watch most of that stuff. I watched Ghosted, and I was really disappointed.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fine. Okay, here's an invented category.
Oh wait,
Wait, we didn't all go, did we?
Yeah, we didn't all go.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. You threw me off, Derryl.
So mine was, you threw me a curveball. You said genre film, but mine was 80 for Brady. It's just
Okay.
You actually saw that.
I actually saw it. I'm a Tom Brady fan, and it's so. My wife wanted to see it too, so we went.
It is on many lists of the worst films this year.
Wow,
I'd not be one of the worst films of all time. It's Willow Bad.
Wow,
Willow Bad.
Wow.
Now I want to see
got
it.
like puppets and sorcery in it.
All right, so,
no puppets or sorcery in 80 for Brady, Derryl?
No, well, I did think that was a horrible movie, but Ant-Man was my real choice for
Yeah. Okay. Everyone's going to have to keep track because it's hard to do this skipping one to remember. But Todd, you're doing most underrated, unappreciated film.
The first of my bullshit made up categories.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with the Marvels. So I'm going to complete my Marvel trifecta for all three positions.
Yep.
And I think I actually predict that this film is going to do very well streaming, and people are going to say they're really surprised.
I'm actually happy because I just saw today you can rent it starting next Tuesday or something.
Oh, really? I will pay the money to rent it.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I did not see it. It was just a tough time when it came out.
I missed the title.
The Marvels.
Oh, The Marvels.
Yeah.
I intended to see it in the theater, and I couldn't for whatever reason, so I'll pay to rent it.
I'm with you. Me too. And I don't know why.
Undying love for Brie Larson aside, I think it's a very good film, and I think it's
entertaining.
I could watch it on a plane on my trip back. I'm going to do that. That's a plane watch for me.
That's too
Are we going to talk about
watch
lessons in chemistry later, Todd?
What's that?
You're right.
I didn't shoehorn that in, but yeah.
Okay, Brian, same question.
The Flash.
Yeah. Also
good movie on a lot of worst movies list, but it was really a good movie.
I watched it again yesterday, and it's good.
People can't separate the actor from the movie. It's a good movie.
And I will tell you, the reason I made this bullshit category up is there are 3 films this year that were grossly four films. That
Let's get to those all in a second, but my choice, since you said it, is The Flash also. And that kid, for whatever his checkered past, he's excellent in it.
That's great.
He's great in this.
Plays 2 parts, and you can always tell which part he's playing.
He's
really good.
And I watched it again. That's the only of the sort of movies this year, like the Indy and Mission Impossible, that I've rewatched so far, and it's great. So I agree with you. Barry, was that your choice too?
No, my choice is actually Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1
Okay,
which I thought was a solid movie, and it tanked at the box office.
Really deserved a much bigger box office with the others. It was a great film. Yeah. I totally forgot about that too.
Yeah. So Derryl, now same question.
Well, mine is, it may not be underrated, but I do think it's unappreciated because everybody should just see Godzilla -1. I think it should be just a bigger movie than it feels like it was. You know, and if I'm not wrong, that movie was shot on a $15 million
$15 million,
which is crazy.
Which is unbelievable.
Which is
the most overachieving movie.
1/10 or less than 1/10 of the last 2 U.S. made Godzilla films.
And I'm wondering if that hurt its marketing, because a film like that.
No, they didn't market it. I mean, they didn't have that. They didn't have a marketing budget like those other films, and so
normally it would have $100 million marketing budget.
And that's
for a big
just
studio.
Yeah.
So I think that hurt
word of mouth.
But they also didn't dub it, right? It's only available subtitled. So like, for them to really put money behind it in the U.S., they would have had to dub it.
It's a kaiju movie. Okay, get over it.
Yeah,
it's like,
hey, Turner Classic Movies was just last weekend did a whole string of Godzilla movies.
We were talking about that.
We were texting about them because I was watching them. Yes,
that's freaking.
And they ran them in Japanese with the subtitles, which was great.
Yeah,
and you know me, I don't like to read when I watch TV, but I enjoyed it.
Did we hit everybody?
Great though.
Yeah,
so I was the last one, and I said,
so the Indy was the last film I was thinking of, because again, it's that there really were 4 films this year.
So Indy, Marvel's, Dial of Destiny, 2,
and Flash,
which we didn't. No one mentioned here,
and Flash.
That's what I'm saying.
And Flash, absolutely. Those were definitely underperformed.
So Todd, I know it wasn't on your category list, but does anybody have an most overrated or overappreciated film?
Well, that's
that's an easy punching bag, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Oh, Oppenheimer.
Whoa. It wasn't that great. It was okay.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was very good. I don't think it matches the hype. I really don't.
That's my point. It doesn't match its own hype. Yeah.
And
I've spoken to a lot of people who are like, and it was just
I think Christopher Nolan has been that way of late. It's just like
Robert Downey Jr. was excellent in that movie.
No, he will get. I think
he'll get nominated for
best supporting actor. He'll get best supporting actor for that. And
he didn't win the Golden Globe for it. He was nominated.
Yeah, he did. He won.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And Cillian Murphy won too, didn't he?
Yeah, picked up the Golden Globe.
He did.
Yeah. He did, but I
didn't realize
he will get best supporting actor for that, and should. I can't think of another thing this year that's been better, but
yep. Okay, are we done? I'm so Brian's going first, and it's best new TV show. We did this the last time. New meaning it has to be new,
and it has to at least overlapped the first.
TV is not limited to network. Right.
Yeah.
Anything that's not. See, now we did include movies, I guess, but a TV show could be limited. I know we went round and round.
I mean, TV now. I mean,
TV is
streaming, debut on all streaming services,
whatever you want.
Yeah,
and just like I said, Ghosted was my worst film. Like that's a movie.
It's a movie
made, but it premiered on streaming. But
it's a movie. Yeah. That's fine.
All right. My pick is The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Good.
Agreed.
Excellent pick. Barry.
This is so hard. There weren't that many good new shows, but it's really hard for me to pick a favorite, and I'm only going to pick this one because it's Star Wars. I'm going to go with Ahsoka. Cool. But it was really, I had two that were neck and neck.
That was tough.
Dave,
Derryl? No, Derryl.
Derryl, I'll go Lessons in Chemistry. Last of Us was up there, but Lessons in Chemistry is right behind it.
Back to Brie Larson.
Yep.
Wife and I watched it, so we love it.
We're one in, and I'm watching with Karen, so I got to stay at her pace,
which is a snail's pace compared to how you watch television.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I chose Last of Us 2. I think that was the one. They did an excellent job in an incredibly tired genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A genre we didn't think somebody could pull off.
Exactly.
If two of you had not picked that already, I would have gone with that. Instead, I'm going to go with The Diplomat.
That was on my list.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that show. It was great. She was phenomenal, and everybody in that show was great. So
it's good to see Rufus Sewell back in a.
Yep.
Is that how you say it? Rufus Sewell.
Rufus Sewell. Yep.
Leading role.
Brian, you went first. I can't remember.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Honorable mention: Shrinking. I think is great.
That's on my list.
Yep.
And Monarch, which we've talked about. I don't know if it's best anything, but it's good.
It's good.
That was my tied for first with Ahsoka, but I went with Ahsoka over it.
Yeah.
And then I've got an honorable mention, which maybe Derryl might be the only one that watched it other than me, but Muppets Mayhem was really freaking good.
Okay.
On Disney Plus. Just saying.
Okay.
Night Agent was good too. That was
I had Night Agent on my list too. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry, you're first. Best returning show.
This was another really hard one. I went with Picard season 3 only because it finally gave us the freaking Picard show we wanted.
Yep.
I'll give you that. Yep. I had it on my list, but didn't pick it. Derryl?
Slow Horses.
Okay.
I think I'm sure Todd invented a category to fit shoehorn in Slow Horses. We'll come to that later.
Absolutely brilliant, and like I said, apparently everyone other than Dave who's watched it has felt that way.
It's the Willow of TV series.
Not the Willow of TV series.
It is so good.
I just like busting your balls about it.
I know that. I know that.
It's so good.
All right, so we're canceling out Daryl's doesn't go. Oh, I'm going.
Then I'll go with it.
I can say Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
It's great. Second season.
It was
the
really
second or
good.
third? I don't remember.
Third.
It was second season was great.
Right.
It was great. Todd?
Also Strange New Worlds.
Okay, good. Brian?
I'm gonna go with Ghosts. You guys don't watch it? It's a great show.
I watched a few episodes of it.
Okay.
It's funny.
The UK show is even better.
Yeah.
I think they've been airing that one now too, right?
The fill-in.
I've seen 3 of the UK show and 2 of the American one. So
so we went through it. Mando has a season this year that it was way back there. It could have been 2 years ago, but
that was February and March. I think
this year.
Yeah.
And I really liked that, but it was
great.
It was the fact that we finally got the reunion of the Next Gen cast on Picard.
No, I'm with you.
It was good.
You
just have to deal with the fact that the Mandalorian is not the Mandalorian who we thought he was.
Dave, did you say Welcome to Wrexham?
Different Mandalorian.
No, I said Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wrexham is a show you should watch.
Yeah,
it's Ted Lasso, the reality series.
I want to watch that. I've heard
it is outstanding.
And I would say my honorable mention, which is not really in our genre, is The Bear. The Bear season 2 was really good.
Yep.
I was going to pick The Bear too, Barry. And in fact, I was going to write in a category just now here, which is best single episode.
Oh my God.
Of a TV show.
The Forks.
The Forks. Have you guys all seen The Bear?
No.
Everybody else here? Oh my God. This show is incredible. And this one particular episode, Barry and I will say no more. It is quintessential. Oh, so good.
It's a show that I get tense watching. Like, it makes me tense watching it, but I enjoy the hell out of it.
It is so good. It is so good.
Okay. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit just because we have to.
Because we need to.
We're going to Derryl. You're starting off again. Most underrated, unappreciated show.
I'm going to go with Reservation Dogs. This is one of our favorite shows. It is so good. It just takes you like right to these kids' lives and so immersive, and you end up cheering for them. It's a really good show. It's over now after three seasons. But I think everybody should watch this show.
I had Diplomat only because I think it's well liked, but no one I talked to had seen it.
I got
a
on
lot
my
of
list
people
too.
to watch it, but I thought that's why I would say Diplomat. Todd?
Silo. I loved it. It just kind of got swallowed up. It's there. They, it's one of these things that everyone was talking about at the time, but it just kind of.
Is it over, Todd? Is it completed, or will there be another?
No, there's more. They're going to make more, but it's
okay,
yeah.
It's on my list for sure.
Yeah. Brian?
For All Mankind. I'm standing in line at the Air and Space Museum next to a person who works at NASA who's never heard of this show. How can you not have heard of this show?
Really?
Nobody taught. I don't know anybody other than the 5 of us that watch it.
That could be very true. I do think we're the only ones who watch it.
Every once in a while, I'll remember the first episode aired. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, we were at Rhode Island.
Watched it in Rhode Island, and every single one of us fell asleep. But we wanted to.
But that wasn't a commentary on the show. We were
it was just we were exhausted, but we just didn't want to go to sleep without having seen it.
There's some people don't like it. Pam hates it. She thinks it's the most boring show there is, and I'm like, you're crazy.
Absolutely loves it.
You're crazy.
No.
Did we do it? I don't even know where we ended.
I didn't go.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I'm going to say Shrinking because it's another one which I absolutely loved and really
a lot of people don't know.
Nobody talks about.
You got to tell people to watch it. Yeah, I agree. We had that discussion this week or last week at work. Like you got to watch Shrinking.
Really
people didn't hear about it. Okay. All right. I'm going with this is perfect for me. Best animated property. Forget this list. No one cares about animation.
You only watch one cartoon. We know which one it is.
Lower Decks is my favorite.
Yep.
Todd, go ahead.
It's also going to be Lower Decks. I
thought you invented this to talk about that Spider-Verse thing.
No. I really love Across the Spider-Verse and I love Blue Eye Samurai, but Lower Decks is just awesome. That's
the only animated thing I think I watch. Okay. Yeah. Brian.
Also Lower Decks. You guys have converted me.
There you go.
I've fallen in love with the show.
It's gotten better too. It has definitely gotten better. Barry?
Invincible season 2, part 1.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Super Mario movie.
That was good. It was good.
Come on, was it good?
It was good. But Invincible season 1 was incredible.
It was really good.
I hate that they split season 2 into 2 parts, but
I do too, and I think I'm a little irritated about that, and I think that's probably why, because I feel like I haven't seen it yet.
It was great though. The episodes that have aired so far have been amazing.
The little that they've aired has been fantastic. Yeah,
and the Adam Eve special that they did this year was
also good.
Too.
I will say,
awesome. Yeah,
there's been I can't think of anything animated with a better cast than that show.
Yeah,
and
like all the best comic adaptations, right? They've taken the core story, but they've also changed it and updated things.
It in appropriate ways, and
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so mine's Across the Spider-Verse, but I almost thought Todd was going to say that.
Yep.
But hey, honorable mention to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love that. I love the animation style. Really,
I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, yet another one in the good column of good movies this year. Really good.
I will say Across the Spider-Verse is created for a younger audience than us, but is so respectful of the genre that it comes from. Okay. Making Ben Reilly Spider-Man so 90s and angsty and and putting the little descriptor boxes in the corner explaining things and all this it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's maybe about 20 minutes too long though.
It may be, and it's a cliffhanger. But like I said, having characters drawn in McFarlane style and having characters drawn, drawn in all these different styles merging together. It's just
so
it's
awesome.
absolutely brilliant.
The Spider-Punk stuff was great too. The way they animated
so
Spider-Punk was great.
Yep. So good.
Dave, not only is it animated, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. You'd love it.
20 minutes long. But you get to listen to Haley Stanfield for
I could rather see her and then instead of listen to her. Okay. Todd, you're starting this category of best other media. This probably had an agenda with it, so it's perfect.
No,
that
you know
it's
what? This is
he usually does this one for me.
I did this one for Barry so he could put music in here.
No, but other media could be anything that's not a TV show,
absolutely any
or
other
a movie.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you come up with because
Dave, just take your headphones off for a minute here.
Start it out.
Mick Herron, who wrote the Slow Horses novels. Okay. This year's book from him is The Secret Hours. And this is brilliant in that it's the backstory for both the books, which are slightly different, and the TV series. So all of the things that they referred to back in the 1980s and 90s that happened, okay, that are the backstory behind all these central characters, that story is finally told in this book. So you can appreciate it as a viewer of the show or a reader of his novels. And the really cool thing with this is everybody is operating under a fake name. So you don't know who the characters are until you figure it out. So everyone, so the people, so basically you've got, this is a novel about other characters who then become the people in the, the supporting characters or the characters in the present days. It's absolutely brilliant. And
they're all alive at the same time. This is like a
these are the people, so some of them are dead, but but you see the story of Charles' partner, and you see, all this stuff kind of coming together, and all these things that are alluded to, but never really explained in the show and never fully explained in the books. This tells everything, how one character lost their legs and how, all this different stuff. And like I said, these characters just kind of slowly come into focus, and it's beautiful. It's
nice.
Really, really well done.
Derryl, are you there? Is it my go?
No, it's Brian. You can mute yourself if you need to.
I'm sorry. Mine's also a book. It's called The Ship Beneath the Ice, The Discovery of Shackleton's Endurance.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even
Written
know
by
about
the guy that ran the missions under the ocean to find the ship. And it's told simultaneously of him trying to find the ship. He also tells the Shackleton story. It's a fantastic book.
Oh, wow.
I love scuba diving stuff.
I've read like 3 books on Shackleton. I need to get that. That's great.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about that.
So many books this year. I don't remember what any of them are, but I'll.
Endurance, right? The ship is the Endurance.
The ship is the Endurance, but it's not the book, The Endurance. That's another book.
Right, I have that book.
Okay. This is called The Ship Beneath the Ice.
Ship Beneath the Ice. Okay, I'm going to get that.
Okay. Barry?
I'm going to break this into 3 separate categories because I have a book, music.
As you are welcome to, Barry, because it's your category.
Thank you.
Something to do with the Beatles, something to do with... Go ahead.
No, my book choice is Geddy Lee's autobiography, My Effing Life, which, if you like music, you don't even have to be a huge Rush fan. It's just a great, great book. He goes deep into his family's survival of the Holocaust, which is hard to read and or listen to, but is really, really worthwhile. And it's just good. I mean, the stories of touring in the 70s and 80s are great. And it's freaking Rush. And it's awesome. So that's my pick for book. My pick for music is a band called The Marvelous Three. Finally released their 4th album. They broke up for 20 years, got back together, released their 4th album. You're going to scratch your head and go, who the hell is The Marvelous Three? I never heard of them. You've all heard of them because they're the song in the Shirt Up bumper. That's the band.
Okay. I haven't played that for a while.
But they're one of my favorite bands from the 90s, and they broke up for 20 years. I've been following their lead singer, who's got an amazing solo career. He produces, he writes for huge, huge stars, but he put the band back together this year, and they made an amazing album. So that's my choice for album. And my last choice is for video game, and this new Super Mario Brothers Wonder video game is fantastic. I haven't played a game in years, and I'm loving that game.
Cool.
Okay. Fair enough. Darryl, other media.
So other media. So this year, or last year, 2023, there was a Kickstarter that I backed for a book from a G.I. Joe fan named Carson Metaxas, who created 3djoes.com. But his book was super ambitious. It's called Collecting the Art of G.I. Joe. And it collects every package painting ever created for the 3 3/4, the real American hero.
Oh, for the 3 3/4, you lost me there.
No, I know, but as a reference work and as just a sheer work of love to this toy line, this book it actually, I'm here in California, but it arrived while I was gone, and my wife couldn't even really lift it off the porch to get it in the house. It's so big. So that's awaiting me when I get back. I'm going to go ahead because I've seen some of the reviews. This thing is just off the charts. So definitely the best thing I bought last year.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to go into a weird other media rabbit hole. It's a YouTube series, sort of.
Yeah,
and our pal Adam Savage tested his stuff he's doing at Earl Hayes Press. If you haven't seen it, I know I'm kind of limited. I love all of Adam Savage's stuff, but this Earl Hayes Press videos have been amazing. And he keeps on putting them out. It's this company that's been around since 1915 that basically has made every paper media that appears in every movie or TV show. And they've got stuff in their archives back to Casablanca and Ghostbusters and Blade Runner and Back to the Future. It's really been great. So I don't know if that category that fits into the category.
His 3210 interviews have also been unbelievably
true
good.
Too. The 3210 interviews. Yep. I feel like, do you think he knew the place was closing down when he did those interviews?
Yeah.
It didn't really talk to those guys about it that way, though.
He was. I've seen pictures of the party they had when they were shutting down, and he was there. I'm sure he knew.
Yeah,
and that's why they
probably
did those videos.
So the place that made all that legendary paper stuff is gone?
No. These are two separate conversations.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So the place that's Earl Hayes Press is still around, and they still make media for paper goods and things for movies. It's been around forever. And then the old Industrial Light and Magic, before it moved to the
Kerner,
San Francisco
building.
Yeah, the last incarnation was called 3210 because that was the address.
Got it.
But they just shut down.
They just shut down. It was Kerner Optical, then it was ILM, then it was 3210, and they just shut their doors, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, all that stuff's been great.
But Adam's been interviewing sort of the legacy guys that worked on Star Wars, Ben Burt and
who worked there,
Warren Peterson.
Place. Yeah. So cool. Okay, I think we're so it's Brian, and you are going to do best streaming platform, favorite streaming platform,
Pluto TV.
Ugh.
They have the Dragnet channel, so I can just put it on, and work on props, and listen to Dragnet. Because they have a Mission Impossible channel too, but you can't just listen to Mission Impossible. You got to watch it.
Got to watch, yeah.
But Dragnet, you can just listen.
A lot of stuff on
it was a radio show, and he turned it into a television show. It still talks like a radio show.
Wow,
that's funny.
I've been totally hooked on it.
Wow, was not expecting that, Brian. Thank you.
That is something I've not seen since forever. Yeah. Yep.
Barry?
I think I said this one last year, but I'm going with Spotify because it's the one I use the most. I mean, I watch a lot of TV, but I listen to more music than I watch TV.
I'm changing my answer because you expanded the category. Derryl?
I'm going to go Apple. I think my wife and I we watch like every show on Apple, and the quality is just off the charts on all of them.
I'm going to save you time. What he said. Same thing.
I would have said Apple, but I won't say Apple until they cancel Slow Horses because I just can't deal with it. Although I do watch a lot on there.
Yep.
I want them to cancel that other damn one. Was Invasion or?
Oh yeah.
But
you know what? I gotta say, it is the home for sci-fi. Seriously, and it is.
They do a lot of sci-fi. That's true.
How many sci-fi shows they have
Monarch
and they are supporting
For All Mankind
through subsequent series.
The Morning Show,
and they got more stuff coming. So,
Silo, right? Silo was on there.
Silo's on there. Murderbot Diaries are coming. Three Body Problems coming. Yeah,
we'll see about that. We'll see how they make that into a. It's not going to be easy. They're going to have to change everyone's names, like you said.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. So I'm going to say YouTube because
I
don't know if you guys, but there are probably 20 channels, people's channels I watch every week. Like I watch everything from Tested. I watch stuff like Shop Nation and Jimmy DeResta, and I Like to Make Stuff and all these. I literally watch every video these people put out.
I watch something every night called Trogley's Guitar Show, where he takes a guitar and rips it apart, tears it down, shows you all the insides, and talks about what it's made. Every single night I watch that show.
Yeah. So I watch, and Derryl, there's a couple of bartending shows I watch. I don't know if you watch any bartender shows.
Oh, no, I don't.
The Educated Barfly, and there's this guy Anders somebody or other, teach you how to make drinks, 10-minute videos. Those are great. Yeah. I watch a ton of YouTube. I watch YouTube every single day. So thank you for reminding me when you said Spotify.
I was trying.
You said Apple.
When I created this bullshit category, I was trying to think of a way of what to name this, include like broadcast media too, and then I thought, why?
What's the point?
And it was like, okay.
Broadcast that brings us things like The Golden Bachelor.
I watched 20 minutes of Magnum PI the other night.
Okay. I saw Barry. I saw an ad for a new show. It's a guy on an island with women who don't speak his language.
Yeah, I saw the.
None of them speak English.
MILF Island?
Lost in Translation or something.
That's it. Yeah. But if you watch football, you see all ads for all these shows.
Love and Translation, I think, or something.
Love and Translation.
Oh, that's interesting. But there's shows.
No, it won't be.
There's shows that I see the commercial for, like I saw when they did True Lies and when they did something else. I'm like, maybe that'll be good, and they all suck. But there's a show with the guy. See the guy who played the Green Arrow on Smallville, called Tracker, where he's sort of like this bounty hunter guy. Did anyone see the ad for that?
Tracker. I've seen 100 ads for that show.
Because you watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
Because it's on CBS.
Okay, yeah.
Was that who? Justin, what was the guy's name?
Hartley.
Justin Hartley or something?
I think it is.
Was he the Green Arrow or Aquaman or something?
I think he was both. He was both. He played two characters in that show.
Oh, and he was in that This Is Us. Anyway, I don't know. I may just to give a broadcast show a chance, I may just watch the first episode. I'm sure it'll suck. Anyway.
My favorite broadcast show is still The Rookie. Good show. Nathan
what about
Fillion.
Ghosts?
Oh, Ghosts is fantastic.
Well, and I still watch every season of Survivor on CBS. So
so do I.
I do.
And now I listen to Jeff Probst's podcast after each episode.
Oh my god.
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Moving along.
Okay. I don't know. I have no idea who it is. It's Barry, I think.
Oh, okay. We're up to best collectible,
best action figure.
This was another invented category. And I know why. I'm hoping
we actually did this last time. We did this category last time.
I'm joking. I thought you invented this for the same reason. I'm going to see what you say because I'm doing the same thing. Well,
I think we had a couple different orders, Derryl. So my list, the next category is best collectible.
Gotcha. It is best non-prop, non-action figure collectible.
Right.
Yes.
I know I just talked about it recently, but I'm going to go with that the Star Wars sticker that I got, which was one of the original Star Wars items created back when they were first making the movie.
Is that this fits into? Because this is not a mass market
category down below, but that's fine, Barry.
Yeah, that's the thing you added to your collection.
Yep. It's okay.
It's a collectible.
It's a collectible. Yes.
But
I have a backup.
I would say, Barry, a collectible is created to be collectible, whereas that is not.
Then I'll go with my backup.
And then other people.
Does anyone disagree with that?
No, I think it's something that anyone could sort of get in a store or order.
I'm gonna go with my backup then, which is something that I got this year but forgot I had ever ordered it because I ordered it in like a late night haze, which is the Kotobukiya Yoda fountain statue.
Oh, cool.
Which I bought and liked, but now that I've actually seen the real one, I like it even more. So
good.
Now it means more to me.
Non-action figure prop collectible.
Yeah.
And it's a limited edition statue, and it was made as a collectible. So there you go.
You should bring it with you and take your picture with it there.
I should hold it up and take my picture next time I'm there.
You hold that and stand in front of the fountain holding that, take your picture. It's like,
It's heavy. Otherwise, I might do that. I'd bring it with me, but no.
Okay. Darryl, you're next.
So I realized in this category that all I buy are action figure and prop related things. So hardly anything, but I'm going to slip.
But you buy Magic cards?
Oh shoot, Magic cards. You're right, Magic cards. But I'm going to slip in the HasLab Hiss Tank, which technically is not an action figure.
No, it's not.
That's not.
Action figures going it. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's just stunning. You should go out and look at YouTube videos if you want to see it, but it's a work of art. It's got, my favorite thing is a light that projects the Cobra logo out in front of it to,
that's cool.
For
branding and to terrify, I guess.
That's nice. You should put that on your car mirrors. Have those lights.
Lights. I have to say, Darryl, one of the things that I love about you is that all the years you spent working on G.I. Joe, you can still appreciate it as a fan.
Oh yeah. It's one of the most amazing toy lines of all time. So I think it's a great IP, and they're making great stuff.
Cool.
And I don't even collect the G.I. Joe 6-inch classified line that this goes to. I bought it because it's like a statue, basically. It's a functional work of art. It's amazing. So next.
I'm gonna go with the reason this category was invented, the Tomy TOS Enterprise.
This category was invented over a year ago.
I'm joking,
but that's the first thing I could think of myself. And
it's awesome. There's been mixed reviews,
and I will say modified because
it's been modified to be great.
It is modified. Every shortcoming of this has been negated by the new base that they've created.
And if you want one,
officially voided the warranty, right? You voided the warranty by all.
We can return it to original spec.
They didn't void the warranty because I had a thought that would have voided the warranty, but I didn't do that. Yeah. So these bases are for sale for only the price that you paid for the Tomy Enterprise.
Yeah, but it's incredible, and like I said, this is one of those things where they just. I was talking about this before the show, and I'm like, they just fumbled in the end zone. The ship itself is fantastic, and then they created it's clearly meant to be displayed in one profile because you can see the screw cap covers on the other side, but they made the base the reverse of that, and the base is just ridiculous. It detracts from the but it doesn't completely.
I get why they did it because it weighs 40 pounds. It's ridiculous.
It does, and it is an amazing, amazing thing. And I absolutely love it. And it was expensive, and we waited a long time. But
we waited longer for other stuff.
We waited longer for things I liked less. So
yes, I agree. We're both on the same page. Love it.
And I finally got to see it in person. Was it last weekend when I was with you guys?
Yep.
It
2 weekends
looks
ago.
Amazing. Yeah, 2 weekends ago. It was great. It looks great.
Brian?
This is a tough one because I don't have a lot of collectibles that aren't props.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Collectibles that aren't props. It's a tough one. So I've got I'm going to go with my 1/6 Batmobile.
Okay.
Prop,
perfect.
No, that absolutely is.
That perfectly fits.
Okay.
You win, Brian.
Yeah. It's just squeaked in the beginning of 2023. Just squeaked in.
That was the Jazz one?
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's Jazz. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Back to Darryl. Best prop replica.
So I'll go with the I split this into two. The HasLab Proton Pack is my number one choice. I was just so pleased with that purchase. But runner up for a prop series, the Icon Design Studios Batman Batarangs started shipping last year. I got like 3 of them at once from Big Bad Toy Store. They all showed up at once.
Wait, is that the NECA ones or?
No, they're from. It's you'd have to look them up. I don't have them with me because they're at home.
Yeah, I know. I think I know the ones you're talking about because NECA's putting out, but those are cheap, like $30 ones, I think.
Yeah. They're good.
Yeah.
I like
cool.
Get the
All right.
job.
Well, mine was also the Proton Pack. Love it. I mean, they did a great job for a really not a lot of money. I mean, what was it, $350 or something? It really did an amazing job with that. Super happy with that. Todd?
I would go with the Batarangs, which I've also bought. I unboxed 2 of them. But I'm actually going to go with something I just received, which are my limited edition Planet Earth prop replicas. Now these are
those
very,
were made
very rare.
in 2023, even though
these
you did get them in 23.
Probably better made than the originals. And yeah, so these things are really, really amazing. And I thank Dave, and this will tie into something that comes up again later.
Those are available for sale as well. I have go to my Etsy store. You can buy a Tomy base. You can buy Planet Earth things.
Amazing.
I don't have those.
If you buy the Planet Earth props, you get a uniform for free.
We sold another one.
We sold another.
Did?
Yes,
yep.
we are.
Congrats.
We are almost in the black.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. It's pretty amazing. Who's left?
I haven't gone yet.
Wait. Who just went? Did I just go?
Brian,
did you go? Just went.
Oh, prop. No, Brian now. Sorry. Prop replica.
Prop replica. I didn't buy a lot of prop replicas.
You say all you buy is prop replicas.
No, he said he buys actual props.
I buy props, not replicas.
Make something?
Replica. I'm tripping over. So I'm going to go with what I made.
Brian?
I'm going to go with my back computer. I made the prop replica.
Oh, of course. Perfect.
I'll go with the back computer. Yeah.
Gotta go with that.
Fair enough.
I bought a bunch of prop replicas this year, and I had a hard time deciding, but I'm going to go with the Regal Robot Grail Cup Chalice, whatever you call it. The Holy Grail.
Yeah. That might Urn of Nurhachi.
Yeah.
I got to say, Dave, those Mustafar dual lightsaber sets we got at Galaxy's Edge back in January are pretty awesome, too.
There it is right there.
Yeah, yours is right there. And my Saurian brandy bottle that I just got is pretty damn cool, too.
Those are for sale on the Dave shop as well. Although you cannot find those freaking bottles anymore. And I'll sell them at market price because you get those bottles for $30 or you can get them for $80. It's a pain. Yeah, you have to recreate those. And genie bottles. Anyway.
Yeah, we need one of those.
That's everybody, right?
Yep.
Okay. Best action figure over $100. Am I going? Who went first? Oh, yeah, Derryl went first. I'm going. Jesus Christ, I can't even keep track. I did look through my Fanboy Collectibles list. There's a couple, but if I had to go just one that I look at and I just love is the Star Trek the Motion Picture Admiral Kirk. I've always loved that costume. I love that figure. There's more intricate ones, but that's the one that I look at and I like the most that I got. So from X06. Todd?
So I'm going to go with the Moon Knight figure. There's a ton of textures. It's a super elaborate costume. I mean, it's probably second only to like Doctor Strange in terms of all the little fabrics and things that go into it. It's really, really elaborate, really well done. It's just a beautiful, beautiful figure, and I'm super pleased with it. Otherwise I would have gone with the Spock companion figure to that, which is just absolutely to yours, Dave.
I was having a hard time remembering if we got that in 2023 or
no,
if
we
it was
did.
late.
No, we did. Yeah,
We did.
I looked at my list.
It's absolutely brilliant. So,
Okay, Brian.
I'm going to go with my Iron Man Mark 1 that I got from Todd.
Absolutely.
It's very nice.
Also, my Iron Man Mark 1 was also a contender. So,
yeah, it's on my list too.
Harry?
You know, I do love that Spock and Kirk figure, but I'm going to go with the Hot Toys Fennec Shan figure.
Okay.
They just did such an amazing job on that figure. She looks great sitting next to Boba Fett in my display case.
Cool. Darryl, did you go? I don't remember.
I don't think I went. This is over 100. Over 100, right?
Yes.
I went. I added to my collection a beautiful vintage G.I. Joe West Point Cadet window box this year. So I don't add that many box things to my collection every year, but that was one I really look forward to adding. So happy to acquire that.
Cool. All right.
My honorable mention, though, just in this category, would be all the Exo-6 Star Trek stuff I got this year, because every single one of them has been amazing.
So amazing. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I had my Mando Luke from season 2.
That's great.
Came this year too, which was awesome. Yeah. Okay, Todd, best action figure under $100.
I buy a lot of Marvel Legends.
Not as many as Darryl.
Not as many as Darryl.
Nobody buys as many as Darryl.
I got to say, I really love the Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock figure from Spider-Man, of all things, from the Spider-Man film, the very excellent lawyer figure. And I have a whole shelf of Daredevil figures. I have every Daredevil incarnation there is, but I have no actual Matt Murdock figure. So this is very cool. And this, as I showed you guys, this thing comes with a little brick, the brick that he catches that's, hurled through the window. And the deco is so good on this that you can read the newsprint. You can read the headlines and the writing on the paper, the newspaper that's wrapped around the brick. It's just a fantastic job of these things, and they just get better and better all the time. So, yeah.
Cool.
That's my pick of many, many figures, I got to say. So,
Brian, do you have action figure under $100?
I do not have an action figure under $100. Nope. I have to pass.
Fair enough. Barry?
I'm going to go with the retro Indiana Jones figures, but not the ones that were reproductions, but all the figures that did that were never produced. And all of them together, I think, are under $100. But they did Sala, they did Short Round, they did Henry Jones, they did Indy from Temple of Doom, Indy from Last Crusade. And I love adding figures that are retro styled to my vintage toy collections. They've gone a little overboard on the Star Wars side. There have been so many of them, but the Indy stuff was just perfect, and it really just displays so well next to the vintage Indy line. So that would be my choice.
Now, here's the man who bought more than any of us, Darryl. Best action figure under $100.
Every Marvel Legend, every Star Wars 3 3/4 figure, every G.I. Joe 3 3/4 figure. And so it's tough to pick. I will say, following what you said, Barry, I was originally skeptical about the Star Wars retro collection because I just didn't feel it needed to exist when the purpose was to recreate original Kenner figures, which I already have in my collection. But it's grown to be so big and so charming. I just love every.
You need that Art Carney figure. I'm telling you.
But I'm with you on that, Darryl. I don't really like them reproducing vintage figures, but it's all the other characters that they're making.
It's the other characters to expand the universe. I really don't want reissued characters. I don't need that. But there's so many new ones that populate the universe that are perfect additions in that scale. But my favorite purchase this year was it's actually hard to single them out, but I like the Star Wars Vintage Collection Return of the Jedi 4-pack. And I liked it as an item because you get 4 figures in one pack, and I know Hasbro struggles with the item count and things like that, and that's a very clever way with one item to deliver multiple figures. And I applaud them for doing that, and I hope they keep doing that because it's a way to get, we fans want new figures and updated figures in the vintage collection, and it's a good way to do that. So I singled that one out among the hundreds of figures I've acquired this year.
I don't buy a lot of these myself either. But I did buy and love the Hasbro 6-inch Indiana Jones from Club Obi-Wan with chicken skewer. Since I do have the actual chicken skewer. So I bought 2 of those. One's on my indie shelf and one's in a box.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to have that. Okay.
Increase the desirability of chicken skewers among all fans.
Exactly.
Must have.
There's one other one out there. Someone must have it. Okay. We're going to Brian first. Best tool, gadget, or gizmo?
Okay.
You do buy tools, gadgets, and gizmos.
I do. I've got a killer tool. If you've ever worked on a copper squash fitting, either for a brake line or for a water tap or something like that, and you put your wrench on it, and all it does is strip all the corners off the nut. They've invented this wrench. That slides onto the nut, and then when you turn it, it closes around and becomes a box wrench.
Oh, look at that!
You can't strip the nut.
Wow.
It's the best thing I ever found on Facebook. I saw it and went, oh, I've got to have it. I just used it on my X19 this week, and it took all the nuts off, no problem.
What's it called?
I don't know what they call it.
Nut Buddy, Nut Minder.
It's got
Nut Buddy's a website. Go on that, Derryl.
it's got the open-ended wrench on it. No, there's no name. Oh,
protect your nuts.
Iron Cube is the name on the side of the wrench.
Iron Cube.
But yeah,
that's a very good gizmo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome tool.
Barry?
I'm going to go with the new airbrush compressor I got this year. It's just so much quieter than the one I had. It's got a separate air tank, so it only runs when it needs to fill itself up, and it's not constantly always running. I'll be honest with you, I don't have it in this room, and I cannot remember the make and model of it, but it was a huge upgrade from the one that I originally had. So
cool. Derryl?
Well, this is based on your guys' recommendation, and it may not be a new item, but I got my wife the Bird Buddy for Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And we love this thing. It is one of the greatest things ever. And so for anybody who doesn't know, Bird Buddy, it's a smart bird feeder that has a camera built in, and you connect it to your Wi-Fi network in your house. And then you get snapshots of the birds that show up at your feeder. But the best part is the app identifies what they are for you and kind of
gives you a whole story on them
in little collection folders. And so our most frequent visitors so far are a cardinal who's gotten very plump, and we have tufted
titmouse. We have a lot of those.
A lot of those too. Yeah.
And the house finches. So we get them every
house finches.
Yeah. So thank you guys for recommending that.
Yeah, I actually bought that in a Kickstarter and waited 2 years to get it for Pam.
Wow.
And I'm glad that after the Kickstarter, they're still making them. So they're obviously been very popular. So you guys were able to get it pretty quickly. So they're still selling them. But it's funny. We've been getting like the same birds. It's tufted titmouse and house finch, and we just got like somebody nuthatch the other day.
Nuthatch. So many
we have woodpeckers too. Do you get woodpeckers?
We have them in the yard. We haven't seen one on the.
We've had them on a downy woodpecker. We get a lot of. It's fun. It's a fun.
It might depend on what kind of food you provide too.
Yeah, probably. She handles all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Great. Such a great gadget.
For me, it's going to be, it's not the newest or most sophisticated 3D printer, but I got the Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro this year, replacing like my almost 10-year-old whatever. And it's just great. It levels itself. It prints without a problem, prints multiple different filaments. I've talked about on the show. I'm printing stuff in flexible things, and it's really great. And I just did a big long print to print a stand for something, and I'll probably show another episode. But yeah, I'm happy. I mean, there's and I know Barry, we talk about that Carbon X1 is I keep on watching videos that there was a video I watched where this guy was at the bamboo booth at a trade show and literally built a life-size, like if it was human scale, it was like a 10-foot tall thing. He printed 150 prints over 4 days with like 150 kilograms of stuff, and it was flawless. Anyway, so that could very well be my next printer. But the Neptune's been great, and it's only like $200. It's awesome.
Think about the A1 and not the Carbon, because it's basically the same printer without the housing.
Yeah, but mine is almost as good as that one. If I'm going to go another one, it's going to be like the one that does everything and is super fast. But anyway, Todd, what about you?
I'm going to go with the Pisani Flexi Light, which
Jesus,
it's on my list.
Yeah,
I use this again today.
Good call.
So what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks is moving. We're moving around our security cameras, and so I got to go into a server cabinet and I got to move a Ethernet cable from one switch to another, then go verify it and then come back. But to do that, you really need to have one cable in one hand and one cable in the other hand and get it in the right ports. Basically, I'm swapping them, and this is fantastic. I clip this thing on, I see where it's coming out, I see where it's going in, and it's been awesome. And I've left it places and had to go back for it, but it's other than that, it is a flawless tool.
The next version has an AirTag built into it.
I think that is the next thing. And I'm actually thinking headband.
Well, that's amazing. They have that thing, but
because it's actually worked better. For what I used to use was actually one of those lights on a headband that I put in. This is better because it sits still. You clamp it, you point it at what you're doing,
and it's always you're always moving your head around. And I get a headache from those things.
Yeah.
That's why
I do too.
I don't think we've talked about it on the show, but we'll talk about it. I invented this flashlight thing for the show. But Todd, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to make fun of slow horses because I've been the inventor of 3 things you've mentioned in the category. So
okay,
right there
I'm telling you, but I the blue one is in my bag at work, and it's it's awesome.
That'll also be in my Etsy store. Boy, I've got a lot of stuff to sell. I can go retire.
Yeah, I use mine almost every day. Almost every day.
Jeez.
It's yeah. And again, like I said, a server cabinet's metal, and I just
clank
right there, boom, done, and then just go to work. It's
awesome. It's funny. Yesterday, we had a new water heater we went to a tankless water heater, and it needs to be on its own switch. Not a switch. It needed an outlet close to it because we were running a extension cord. So I'm like, oh, I'm not high. I put an outlet. So I put an outlet. I am holding the freaking flashlight in my teeth most of the time because my flexi light is all the way upstairs in this room, and I was in the basement. And I'm like, this is the stupidest thing. I made this flashlight that I've given to people using it, and I'm holding a flashlight in my teeth the whole time. Bad. Anyway, thank you. We'll talk more.
We went tankless this year too, Dave.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I still have work to do on my stuff, but it's the Light Flex, by the way. Flexi Light already. Someone already had that name.
Oh, okay. Well, not the Pisani Flexi Light. So
Pisani Light Flex.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Pisani Light Flex.
Did we everyone go? I don't know where we are.
I think everybody went.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Todd was last. Yep.
Okay. What's next?
Barry's first on
event physically attended. I think Barry, you're going, right?
I'll go. I mean,
no, wait. Who went first last time?
It's Barry.
Yeah, it's Barry.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't go to a lot of events this year, but I don't, and I apologize, but I don't know how I could not pick going to Skywalker Ranch and Lucasfilm.
Oh, of course.
This touchdown.
This was created for you.
Yeah, this was my category this year.
Yep.
Yeah. Life achievement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like check off the bucket list right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job,
Derryl.
I really don't think I went to many events, but just toy shows around at Steve Stovall's Kentuckiana show in Atlanta. That's all I did. So this year I'm expanding out. I'm going to the Glendale Toy Show next weekend, and I'll set up there, or in 2 weeks from now. So I'm expanding out and traveling more around the country to do toy shows. So
cool. Well, you did go to Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Hey, I went to Rhode Island Comic-Con, but I didn't set up as a vendor there. But I met you guys there. But actually, no, I did go inside Rhode Island Comic-Con with.
Oh yeah, remember he didn't buy a ticket.
Yep.
True.
Anyway, mostly to see you guys.
I had Rhode Island, but you know what I'm going to go with? If it's an event, my family and Barry's family went to Disney World with a tour guide. To me, that's an event this year. That was
last
year.
That was on my list too.
Wow.
And that's If you, I have to say this: if you've got the means, I highly recommend it.
Yes.
It's unlike any other.
It's not cheap, but it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Magic Kingdom?
We went to where'd we go? We went to
Galaxy's Edge,
and Epcot
Studios and Epcot because we wanted to hit all the new stuff.
Yeah,
right.
So the tour guide, and he hooked us up with reservations at the 2012 or whatever it's called restaurant.
No, that's Space 220, I think.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, that restaurant.
Nice.
2112, the Rush restaurant.
It's not Mars 2112. That's really. Is that place even still in Manhattan? I think it closed.
No, I meant that's been closed. I think they closed like 6 months after it opened.
Yeah.
Remember that? That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so definitely Disney World with the tour guide and the K's. Todd?
I would say it was recording the 500th episode of the Regular Joe's podcast and sitting down with our good friend, John Rice Davies.
Thanks to Brian and his encyclopedic knowledge of British
amazing. It was, I at least once a week, I think of that evening. And it was just, we've had some nights there that were just like magic. This was unbelievable. I mean, to go from, I'll sit down for 2 minutes to this guy didn't want to leave.
So somebody asked me an intelligent question, which is just like the death of any interview.
The death of any interview. But it was fantastic. And it could not, honestly, it could not have been better. We owe it in a great deal to Brian and to Dave's question, which was the prompt that got it rolling.
Yeah. No, but Brian knew when the guys.
Oh yeah, Brian knew.
The guys like Austin Healy and Brian's like, oh, you mean the 6-cylinder? That's
line.
Straight 6 versus
Dave cast
V8?
the line, and Brian put the hook in his mouth. Okay,
there you go. Yeah,
I mean, it
awesome.
was absolutely
and
brilliant.
Greg Nicotero, another Brian.
Greg Nicotero was awesome, but it was just it was amazing.
Awesome.
And I have to say, and I've said
that
this
was a magic
before,
night.
But other than where I got to go this year, listening to that podcast after the fact, it's the only episode of this podcast I wasn't ever on. And I was even in that one a little bit, but I wasn't there for this, which is the first episode ever that I wasn't. But listening to what you guys pulled off that night was magic for me. So.
All right, I'm shamed at my answer. I'm changing it. Todd.
My favorite part was Greg Nicotero walking up because he's going to throw us a bone and be in our podcast, and we're sitting there with John Rhys Davies
being in the queue,
and he's just like, "Oh, I'll wait."
While our marathon interview went on, it was fantastic.
He was great too. He was great. He was gracious.
He was
very
nice.
Gracious. He's introducing himself to people like.
Yep.
Yeah,
as was Mannequin Skywalker. So it's just
Yeah. Brian?
Well, I was going to say Rhode Island Comic Con, but I just had a tremendous event at the last Shatner event up at Ticonderoga. That was an amazing
the official Star Trek set tour, which is awesome.
Official Star Trek set tour with William Shatner, and I got to have dinner with David Gerald, and it was just a fantastic event. It was great.
That's awesome. Okay. Favorite thing added to your collection? We're going to Derryl.
All right.
We're almost done.
The big one this year I added was I collect the Disneyland park posters, and in a Van Eaton auction I was able to pick up the Flying Saucer poster this year, which is a ride I never went on, but it's such a beautiful poster.
Oh, really? I'd like to check that out. Is that like sort of one of the Dumbo kind of rides, or
no? It was a very bad ride. It was basically these large platforms on these air cushions. If you ever rode Luigi's Flying Tires at Disney's California Adventure, it was based on the same platform.
Oh,
these giant things on these cushions, and the whole field they're like bumper cars, but the whole field has air pressure coming up through little like pinpoint.
That's cool, like an air hockey table.
And it's like an air hockey table, and it lifts it exactly, Dave. It's an air hockey table.
That's cool.
Sports.
They sound you have to lean to get it to go anywhere. And
you had to lean.
They didn't go very fast.
It's not an easy technology to fit a bunch of people into the thing like that. I bet
it's terrible technology for a ride. It was kind of fun when you're in it. We rode Luigi's, but anyway, the poster's really beautiful. So I'll send you guys a picture later. So I added that to my collection this year.
That's cool. Okay, well, Mine, of course, is my Tom Cruise Last Samurai sword. No, it's not. I have them here, and you've seen them. But I added two things from the Greg Jean auction. I framed them up. The
Nice.
Star Trek the Motion Picture insignias.
Incredible.
I have every color and the medical ones. We'll post pictures of those, or whatever else we want to post. And then I don't think you guys saw. I also got a bunch of insignias and stuff from the maroon costumes, and I just framed this up yesterday.
Oh God, look at that!
Wow.
So it's hard to get
great.
That's amazing.
The spacing is weird. So it's the shoulder thing. It's an admiral pin. It's the wrist thing. It's two ensign things.
Lieutenant junior grade, right?
Yeah.
I think those.
Yeah, this is the
split
ensign
bars
thing.
are lieutenant junior grade.
Yeah. So, and I found the right material to put it on.
That was
So,
quite a score you got there,
frames are-
Dave. I can tell you that was.
I lucked out. I mean, I didn't even know what they had.
Works of art, man.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they had either. That was part
They
of it.
totally didn't. So I was thrilled to add those to my collection from the Greg Jean collection.
Great
Todd.
score.
And there's other stuff. I hope Todd will talk about.
Mine is going to be my Planet Earth uniform, also from the same. This is the key to making this work. Is buy in bulk. Okay. I paid for two fantastic auctions that I went in on with this one, but the other one I was able to buy one of those insignias from him, and we've successfully sold off or committed, pretty much all the other uniforms, right?
So we bought 5 Planet Earth uniforms. Todd and I each kept the main stars ones, and we have sold 2 off, and one is spoken
Committed.
for from somebody else.
Yep.
And I mine on as a mannequin that freaks my wife out, but
And
I'm
my
thrilled to have it
mannequin
as
is
well.
shipped. So as of today.
Oh, did you get the mannequin?
I got the female mannequin. It's shipped, and so we'll see.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, we
That's
can
awesome.
attest to Dave's wife is freaked out by the mannequin.
She has a real weird issue with mannequins.
Yeah, and she was complaining to Maria, and Maria's like, "There's 2 of them in my house."
Yeah. She doesn't like the hands for some reason.
Oh, I just bought 4 mannequins.
Nice.
Yeah, my basement's gonna be full of them. Yeah,
But that is definitely one of my other highlights. But I know Todd and I, it was nice because you summed it up great when we were texting or whatever. It's like we have something that is like hero uniforms of a movie only 6 people like.
Exactly, but it's the awesome thing is several awesome things, but one of them is no one is ever going to question the authenticity of it. Okay,
because who would copy it?
And it's like and again, it's like I said, I love that as a kid. It came on every 2 or 3 years, and I watched it. And it's John Saxon, and like I said,
It is the
I think
culmination, though. As long
the
as
first
I've
thing that
known
Dave and
the
I
2 of
bonded
you-
over was our love of John Saxon. So
as long as I've known the 2 of you, you've been talking about your love for John
it's
Saxon.
a great John
the fact that
Saxon.
You're able to
So-
do this. It was great.
This is like we were in Pennsylvania in 2001, and Todd drew a picture of Maskatron that I still have.
explaining to someone else why we like John Saxon, and it's but I remember talking to you about it when we went to lunch, and in Washington. That was the first time we talked about it. So
That's so funny.
yeah,
Hey, it's the secret to collecting is collect stuff nobody else likes.
Yeah.
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 You know what I would love?
Not that you've been good at that, because you've
I would love something from Robinson Crusoe on Mars, but it's
You can't find it. Yeah.
it's long gone. Anyway, Brian, what about you?
Well, I got to go with my Greg Jean thing, the Forbidden Planet uniform.
That's such
absolutely
an awesome
fantastic.
win.
Yeah, great get, and it's in really good shape. And it's on a mannequin who's too tall, so I'm getting a shorter mannequin for him to go on.
Oh, really? Okay, that's why you bought.
Male
what else you
mannequins
put
are
on
like
mannequins?
6'3".
Oh, really?
Like yes, and actors were 5'6", 5'7" back
yeah.
then. So.
Yeah.
I have just a 6-foot mannequin on the way, but
That's why so many times when you see costumes displayed, they don't look right because the mannequins don't fit
they're too tall.
body style of the actors.
Yep. My mannequin is pretty tall. I'd say it's a 5'10" or 11 person. And John Saxon, this is a tight uniform. It fits this mannequin pretty well. So
It does.
He's probably
It's
a pretty
good.
tall
Yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just a off the shelf kind of regular mannequin. So
Yep.
Yep.
cool. You didn't go, Barry.
No. I'm just going to stick with my theme here. While I was in California, I was able to meet and get autographs from Dennis Mira and Phil Tippett and John Berg to go with my AT-AT prop replica, and that was probably my favorite things awesome. That I got this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Plus something that I showed you guys, but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about. It was a gift from somebody that was pretty freaking cool too.
Cool. Yep. Everyone went, right? Yes, everyone went. Okay. We're getting to the favorite thing. Biggest disappointment. You had to have expected more or better. Is it me?
No, it's Todd.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait, no.
Todd's up.
Darryl went first for his added to his
for the collectible. Yes.
Oh, so it is me.
Oh, okay, it's you.
You know what? Not that I cared that much, but there was so much hype, and I really thought this movie was going to be way better. It was Barbie. I mean, there was so much talk. It did such good box office. Everyone, and I'm like, I have an open mind. I would like to watch it. I was super disappointed, and not because it sort of was this men versus women thing. Men are assholes. I get it, and I thoroughly believe that women don't get enough credit. It was just not great. I just didn't think it was well done. I mean, not interested. I thought it'd be way better when I went to see it. Anyway,
okay.
I agree. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it either. It was fine.
I didn't even think it was fine. Yeah. I was disappointed, and Pam was really disappointed too. We really thought it was going to be something.
So was Maria.
Special.
Yeah.
Todd.
So I went through a bunch of different permutations of this, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't get my hopes up for a whole lot of stuff, and so that's where, like I said, I kind of looked at this, and then I thought about all the various things that were disappointing. There was a show in 2022 that I really liked that they announced they're coming back with a second season. And then halfway through 2023, this is The Peripheral, they said, oh yeah, changed our mind. And they pulled the football back. And I just found that really, really disappointing. I was thinking of the disappointments of the year.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I really liked that show. And it's just very, very odd to announce a second season and then go back and say, "Oh, never mind, we changed our mind."
Well, they're all paying down their freaking debt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's been a couple more. There's been several more since then.
A lot of stuff.
But this was unfortunately the beginning of a trend. So
yeah,
which is why I've been saying for years it's so hard and disappointing when you get involved in any show now, because you just never know.
Yep.
Unless it's a procedural where there is no continuity from episode to episode. You know, you get involved in these stories and then they just pull the rug out.
Yep.
That show too.
Brian?
I'm going to say Ahsoka. Okay. I was expecting a lot more, and it just went no place.
Yeah, it was rough.
There was no goal, and then it went nowhere.
Slowest.
There was a lot of meandering.
So bad. The direction was terrible too.
I can't disagree, even though I picked it as my favorite show. But
I know
mainly picked it as my favorite show because of that one episode with the interaction between young Ahsoka and Anakin, what I thought was great.
Same here, and honestly, that kind of I don't say redeemed the series for me, but if I think of that series, that was just like the coolest thing. And
that might have been my second favorite episode of TV this year was that particular episode, but it didn't. For me, it struggled to redeem the series. The first half of the series was so bad and unnecessary. It could have been edited down. I
truly felt that when they announced that he was going to be in the show, that they were shoehorning him in there to just like bump the interest up, and it was so not that. It was integral. It was integral to the story, and you know, and I think that was the best part of what we saw.
Absolutely, totally agree.
Yep.
Cool. Who's next? I have no idea where we are.
Who follows me? Barry follows me.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked the first two Ant-Man movies, and this one just was so bad.
Totally agree.
Am I next?
Yes.
So I'm going to pick up that football, Barry, and I'm going to run the rest of the 99 yards to the end zone with this one. It touches a much bigger thing with the Marvel universe, and it's a confluence of, I think, you know, a lack of a really strong direction and maybe a through line to what Marvel's been putting out, and you know, aka I think the public is turning on Marvel. Like, there are some good spots, Guardians and Marvels, but there's a lot of just bad stuff. But overall, the Kang fiasco and the tied into the Jonathan Majors thing, to me, it's just like I'm so disappointed because it's just set back this thing that I've come to love like years, and it seems like it's almost rudderless. I don't know if there's a way out. I'm confident this might tie into the thing we're most looking for in 2024, but I'm trying to be optimistic that things will get turned around. But it's like we've just been mired in Nowhereville, and that to me is very disappointing.
We've talked about that on the show.
War and have such a high, and then basically have almost nothing great since then.
And it's funny. It's almost Ant-Man and Quantumania's fault that the Marvels didn't do so well. It was so bad, people didn't like it, and they didn't go see the Marvels. That's part of the reason. Marketing.
It is part of the reason that writer's strike and actor strike, no promotion.
If they had
interviews,
come up with a compelling villain in that, it could have kept the direction in the right way.
I think it could have been Kang. I
agree, Derryl. This is not the Kang, though. Okay, and
they should have made Kang. And we've said this before. The bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, that guy seemed worse than Kang. If that was Kang, and this guy kills freaking baby raccoons, he's a bad guy. Yeah, I'd rather have that guy was a better Kang than Kang was.
Yeah, again, they mishandled it, and then they got another bad card dealt to them. And honestly, the best thing, as we've said many times, just walk away from this whole storyline. Let Loki be the end of it.
Yes, please.
And never say the name Kang again.
I thought Loki they did wrap it. Put a make a finish for that story. So that was one great
figure out a new
I really feel like a bunch of people were sitting around that writer's room saying, what if we have to end it here? And they left that ambiguous ending for it so that they could not go back to Kang if they wanted to. And I think it's
I hope that's the case.
And when you finally see the Marvels, the end of the Marvels presents like the grain of a new beginning. And I think that's the direction they need to go in, and stop hiring 45-year-old actors that you're not going to be able to use in 8 years, and go with younger heroes and build them up and do what you're going to do. So
okay, moving along.
Yep.
The year in history, most significant event happening in the nerd world this year.
Okay, this is totally written for one thing.
Is there anything other than one thing?
This was totally written for one thing because I just felt like we didn't attend this thing, and you're all welcome to come up with your own things. But I think seismically, fewer things had more impact than the Greg Jean auction in the nerd world this year.
Heritage Auctions will give them credit.
Yep. And this just tremendous impact. So
I think we talked about it. People talked about it. The Pops podcast talked about it.
Anybody got something else?
We all participated in this. It's just a mic. It's not.
We lived this for 2 days. I mean,
I was just going to say before I say what my other, because I knew it was going to be the Greg Jean auction, but I did come up with one other thing. But that weekend was some of the most fun I've had with you guys. Even though we weren't in the same room, right?
Yeah,
that was so much fun.
I got yelled at for being at dinner with another couple, and I'm bidding on stuff and texting you guys all at the same time, and it was ugly, but it was a lot of fun. That was I feel like I still, you go through these auctions and they all feel the same, but I obviously, thankfully, I won stuff, so I've been working on that stuff and putting it into frames you just saw, but it was something. That catalog, I mean, that sits on my coffee table.
We go through auction catalogs and we all find things we want. But in this catalog, it was literally every page.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a page in that catalog where I didn't go,
no, that's what I'm saying. It's a moment that was a moment in history for people with our likes and interests that I cannot imagine ever being eclipsed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so no one else other than Barry has anything. So go.
I have a backup too in case someone else picked that.
And this is more of a negative, but I don't think we can talk about 2023 without talking about the strikes. I mean, that completely threw nerd culture and every other culture into, delays and chaos and
amazing pick, Barry. Yeah.
That will come up in my next pick. But
I think that's 2024 is totally being affected by that. But
I've got something that's going to be bigger than it was in 2023, but this is the beginning, and that's Dave Filoni being named Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
There's another ship that needs to be a little more straight, on the straight line, I think.
You know what somebody said to me the other day, and I was like, holy shit, you're right. This Christmas, we were supposed to get the Rogue Squadron movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
Oh, God.
How many movies have been announced that didn't happen? But that one was targeted for
a ton. Someone
Christmas
at work,
23.
We were walking to get a sandwich today, and she was asking about, I don't know, she knows I'm into nerds. What Star Wars movie's coming next? Is there another Star Wars movie coming? And then I'm like, maybe. When you sort of explain it to someone who isn't in the weeds like we are, like there's been a half a dozen that should have been made. And she's like, "What's the next one?" I'm like, "Well, that's a loaded question. I don't know."
They have
right now. We're at the point where there's 3 that they're still talking about. There's at least half a dozen that have been scrapped. So it's a mess too.
I hope it means good things, and it's just not a symbolic title for the work that Filoni's done. What I hope it means is that there are fewer cooks in the kitchen now, right?
Yeah, I hope so, because it's as messy in some regards as Marvel is. And
Oh yeah, no question. But I will say he knows how to tell a story, and that is what the issue has been for a while.
But we got to get out of the so and so's doing a movie, so and so's doing a movie, this guy's doing a movie, this girl's doing a movie. This
what I would really love to hear is confirmation that Favreau is still involved, because we haven't heard that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is. Anyway, okay,
knowing Favreau, he's letting the spotlight be on Filoni for a while. So
there's no spotlight. There's really not talking much about anything.
Yeah,
a couple of blurbs about the Daisy Ridley movie. Other than that, we're not hearing a thing about anything. And all those.
Last thing I heard was that the Daisy Ridley movie is most likely not the next one we're going to see.
I didn't hear that at all. I was feeling it was going to be the next one.
No, well, that's what they had been talking about, but now I'm hearing rumblings it could be something else.
We're not going to see a Star Wars movie for minimal 2 years, probably more.
Well, if nothing's in production, it's going to take them 3 years.
Yeah.
And
the series. Okay, well, we'll get to the next one, but there's nothing premiering in 24 Star Wars, right?
No, there is.
Is there? Shows. There's no dates set.
There's shows for the Acolyte and
Skeleton Crew. That's actually what I'm looking most forward to in 2024. Are these?
There you go. Let's kick that off with most. You're most looking forward to Skeleton Crew.
But...
Me too.
Really? I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
No, me either.
Yep. Well, and it's just because I'm starving for new Star Wars content.
And what I'm coming around to thinking with this is, maybe this is the Guardians of the Galaxy of Star Wars, where no one's walking in with preconceived notions of what it is,
right? And
let it be what it is, okay? And they're not going to say, "Oh, Ahsoka wouldn't do that," or "That's not what that's not who this Hera doesn't look that way or do this." This is clean sheet. Go in, stories in the background. I'm almost thinking like Rebels was when Rebels hit its stride. It was like story adjacent, but not.
I hope it's just not like Goonies with Jude Law or something.
I don't know. They've swung and missed so much recently. I guess that's good. My expectations will be low.
But I think a lot of that's
swung and missed on are things that we had that were pre-existing storylines that they were
high expectations for what they were going to do with it.
These are things that we don't really know anything about. Boba Fett is your
classic example.
Boba Fett and even parts of Obi-Wan. I thought
and Mandalorian. People went in there with one set of expectations and were unhappy because they weren't getting what they were expecting. And not that it was bad, but that they weren't getting what they were expecting.
No, and I'll just say it one more time and never say it again. We shouldn't be doing stunt casting in a Star Wars show. We shouldn't be seeing Jack Black and Lizzo in Star Wars shows.
Ugh, I forgot all about that. That was horrible.
That was terrible.
But
okay.
Bad Batch season 3 is also coming this year, Todd, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah. Yep.
Me too.
All right, Barry went. So, Derryl, what are you most looking forward to in 2024?
So, optimistically, maybe the opposite of Todd. Optimistically, it's Marvel gets their groove back with Thunderbolts. I think I'm getting excited about.
Is that coming out in 24 though?
Thunderbolts.
It's in 25, Derryl.
Oh, it's 25. Oh no,
they moved it.
It was 24. They moved it.
Okay, let me move to my second.
If you
thing.
look at I looked at lists of movies and TV shows. Everything is TBA. Nobody knows when this stuff is premiering.
I looked at 2024 and it had the Thunderbolts in June.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they moved it. They moved
it out. I missed that. So I was looking at an outdated list. My bad. So then I'll continue to be sad about Marvel. But I am looking forward to fresh Star Wars TV, just like Barry said. Even though I don't like the time period that the Acolyte is set in, I think, echoing what Todd said, just moving away from the familiar into the unfamiliar can get that Star Wars magic back. And with Filoni in charge, I'm hoping we get the Mandalorian kind of all over again.
And that's it. Just think of that first time we saw the Mandalorian in a time period that we knew when it was set, but it was uncharted territory for them to play with. They could do that again.
Yep, I think so.
Yep.
So that's what I'm looking.
I looked at a bunch of stuff. So, and I'm not like a super fan of the first couple movies, but I'm going to say Deadpool because it's coming out in 24. It's got Wolverine in it. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be this lightning in a bottle, and I think it's going to be great because there's really nothing else much coming. I mean,
well, what about Ghostbusters, Dave?
That's on my list.
Mention.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters. That's my pick.
What about
all over that?
What about Falcon as Captain America? That's coming. No. I have a couple, but Todd, what do you got?
I have a few also.
Okay,
but I'll wait until you guys go.
The thing I'm most looking forward to in 2024 is January of 2025, which is where they moved Daredevil Born Again to. Yeah. Anyways, that's currently where it is January 2025. Interesting tidbit. Last week, they did for the first time acknowledge that the Netflix show is Marvel canon.
Yeah.
And which is very, very interesting. So,
Yep.
So we will see. And also that, as I said, in Echo tomorrow night, going to watch all 4 hours of it tomorrow night.
You don't have to, you can spread
I'm going to.
But the problem is you're going to want to talk to us about it and we won't have seen any of it.
It doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
Okay, no one is going to spoil this for me, okay? So
I don't think anyone's going to watch it. I think you're going to be the only person who watches it.
I could throw out the gauntlet and say, we could just go out on record now and saying we're taking off next week. We could commit to all watching it and talking about it 2 weeks from now.
Let's do that. And because
it's only 4 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It's 5 episodes. It's less than 4 hours.
I can't watch it until I get back. But you guys can talk. I'll just have to put
whatever.
Which format is which stream is it on?
Disney
and Hulu because they're really trying to get people to watch it.
Okay, let's finish this up. Brian,
sharing the love. Okay.
What 2024? What are you most looking forward to?
I already said it was Ghostbusters.
Oh, you did say that. Okay.
Yeah, Frozen Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, I had Ghostbusters. Definitely Mission Impossible 8.
Oh yeah,
coming out.
Are we getting that this year?
Oh, I don't think so.
Really?
I think they pushed it out.
I looked at a brand new list and it said this year, but maybe it's wrong. Also, honorable mention for Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff starring Ana de Armas. We come full circle on Ana de Armas.
And I've got a couple of honorable mentions. Dune Part 2. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't have a lot going on in your life.
It will come out.
Invincible Season 2 Part 2, which I think we get this month. And I'm looking forward to House of the Dragon Season 2. I enjoyed House of the
Dragon. You think that's even coming this year?
Me too.
Yeah, I think
we're getting it this summer.
I think the editing.
Oh, that's true.
He's editing it now, right? It's all shot. It'll come.
Yeah,
out.
he had it in the can before the strike.
So yes, that's right.
Yeah,
and The Boys season 4. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
Yeah, good picks. Good picks.
Okay.
I'm going to slip in a non-entertainment one. It's getting the HasLab Vintage Collection. The Ghost is gonna ship this year. I'm looking forward to getting that.
Oh, it could be anything.
I fought the urge super hard not to order that, and I succeeded. But I would love to have one of those. I just don't have the space for it.
So looking forward to it.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
We're gonna do speed round. I'm sorry to say. The last one is
this.
in memoriam.
That's what it's going to be like in my life. It would just be like
I just went and got his little mini ghost.
A mini ghost.
Yeah.
Let's do an in memoriam. With a lot of people died. Who's your favorite person who died? That's not the right way to say it. Who's your person you're going to miss the most who passed away?
We pick two?
You can do whatever you want. Let's just wrap this thing up.
You told me we could only pick one.
I'm asking.
Darryl, go first.
You can do two, Todd.
Okay.
Who's
okay.
That?
Darryl's going first.
Okay. I'm going to go totally opposite ends of the spectrum. Raquel Welch.
Okay. You picked one of mine.
Okay. Yeah. And Lance Reddick, who is in everything he's in. Everything he's in, I love.
Yep. I agree with both of those.
Yep.
Brian, you have to go now.
Well, I got to go with Mark Goddard again. I talked to Mark before.
Of course, you knew him too.
From Lost in Space. I knew him. He was a hero of mine. Never got the due he deserved for being a role model in the 60s.
True. Barry?
Separate the man from things that he may or may not have done, but Paul Rubens. I loved Pee Wee Herman, and his sense of humor completely shaped my sense of humor back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't pick the second bass player from Leonard Skinner.
He wasn't the bass player. He was the last living guitar player from the original lineup.
Darryl?
Am I supposed to do another one? Or?
I'm going to pick.
I'm
going to pick Al Jaffe from Mad Magazine. Yeah. And
that was on my list too.
Last couple of years, I've been getting the occasional Mad Magazine Al Jaffe artist series. These hardcover volumes. They're absolutely amazing. And the first one I got was that Al Jaffe one, and it has all the centerfolds that it's not centerfolds. Sorry, that's Playboy.
Those were those weird things that would turn into something different.
Yeah. Last page fold-ins, yeah.
The fold-ins that always came in the last page. And, I love those as a kid. It's a great way to finish a Mad. And thank you, Al Jaffe, for all those great years.
I looked through this list. I mean, I'm sorry, everybody's dead, but the person who I'm most exposed to and died way too young, Matthew Perry. I mean, I watched Friends during the pandemic. I watched Friends every single day, and I still love it. I still laugh at it. And that guy, it's a shame what happened to him. So, rest in peace there. Todd, did you have something else, or did you went you two people?
No, I was good with my two people.
Does anyone else want to mention anyone else while we're here? I mean,
I'll mention one other just because he also died too young, but Ray Stevenson, who was Balin Skull.
Yeah.
Who I thought was one of the best things about that show, and it's a shame now that if they do continue the story, they're going to have to recast it.
Yeah. And a great character actor in everything he's been in.
Firefly and G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
I got two actors from my favorite movies: Jim Brown from My Station Zebra.
Yep.
Yes.
And Treat Williams from 1941.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who passed away, unfortunately. And in 24, David Soul, Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, But you know,
I thought Paul Michael Glaser passed away a long time ago. He's still alive.
He is still alive.
His wife passed away a long time ago.
And that got a lot of headlines.
Yeah.
And
he was doing a lot of good out there.
Yeah.
But when you think David Soul, it's like, okay, Starsky, but Salem's Lot, excellent and still holds up. And he was also in like Magnum Force too, which he was the bad guy or one of those Dirty Harrys.
I probably the best TV adaptation of a Stephen King novel. I think Salem's Lot was great.
Salem's Lot still holds up. It's scary as hell.
It was great. And his co-star passed away this year too.
Yeah, Lance Kerwin. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a shame. That's really a shame. Anyway, we've gone very long. We've covered a lot of stuff. We'll throw some pictures up on some of this stuff. If you've got something you want to mention in these categories, shoot it our way. You know how to get a hold of us: Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
We have a phone number, Todd. What's the phone number?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No, we do. I may have it right here.
413-422-0004. So if you want to leave a comment or tell us what we missed, please, in fact, call 413-422-0004, and we will add it to the end of next show.
And guess what? I'll pick someone who we have limited edition 500th episode patches I'm showing around the screen right now. I'll send you one.
So remember now, that number is 413-422-0004.
Yes, and we'll pick one or two people and we'll send you a patch. Limited edition. Okay. Thank you all. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you in 2023, not to mention the past. In some instances, 20 years. In some instances, Brian, I have no idea, probably 5 years, but it seems like less. I don't really know.
I don't know either. I thought
it was before COVID, right? I mean,
it's been a while, yeah.
It's crazy how I really think you said before. I think, how long have I known Brian? 2 years, but COVID is already
3 years
almost
ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it nuts?
I think we've known Brian 5 or 6 years now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nuts. But anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.